In the darkest waters on Earth far below, the last flicker of sunlight, something stirs. The cameras of a deep-sea submersible tremble as a shadow unfurls across the void, stretching wider than any jaw has a right to. And then, in a moment of impossible silence, a mouth opens, wider, wider, until it looks less like an animal and more like a black hole with teeth. This is the gulper eel expandable maw predator, a creature so strange, so elastic, and so ancient that scientists once questioned whether it could even be real. Tonight, we follow its secrets into the abyss. The deep ocean is the closest thing our planet has to an alien world. At 6,000 to 9,000 feet down, pressures rise to crushing extremes, hundreds of atmospheres squeezing every inch of flesh. The water is cold enough to stop a heartbeat, and the darkness is so complete that eyesight becomes optional and silence becomes a way of life. Yet in this world of extinction-level difficulty, the gulper eel has endured for millions of years. Modern research suggests that the lineage of this creature may stretch back to the Miocene, possibly even earlier, while countless species vanished during global cooling events or upheavals in ocean circulation. The gulper eel survived by becoming stranguliner, more efficient in the darkest corners of the sea. Evolution, forced to operate under unthinkable pressure, refined it into one of the most improbable predators nature ever produced. The most dramatic feature of the gulper eel is its enormous, expandable maw jaw that can balloon into a pouch larger than its own body. In the open ocean, where food is scarce and unpredictable, this adaptation is genius. Instead of chasing prey, it swallows whatever drifts too close. Mantonfish, shrimp, squid, and occasionally creatures nearly its own size. Scientists often compare the eel's jaw to a pelican's pouch, but even that analogy fails to capture how surreal it is. Watching the maw expand is like witnessing darkness inhale in 2018. A deep-sea expedition using the submersible Nautilus recorded rare footage of a gulper eel performing a bizarre display. With its body inflated into a balloon-like sphere and its jaw stretching outward in a grotesque pink bloom, it pulsed silently through the water. Some experts believe this behavior is a defensive posture. Others speculate it's a hunting mechanism, allowing the eel to mimic a drifting gelatinous organism to lure prey. But one researcher described it more poetically. It looks like the ocean itself is trying to scare you. The eel's body is long, whip-like, and almost serpentoid, tapering to a thin tail tipped with a bioluminescent bulb. That glowing lure may be its second greatest adaptation. In the abyss, light is a currency more precious than oxygen. Creatures evolved to seek it, flee from it, or weaponize it. The gulper eel uses its lure like a fisherman uses bait, dangling it in slow, mesmerizing movements until something small and curious wanders too close. And then the maw snaps shut, quietly, with a predatory efficiency perfected by millions of years. Scientists studying the eel's anatomy found that its stomach can distend dramatically, ballooning to accommodate oversized meals. This flexibility is essential in a place where food might come only once a week or once a month. The eel's metabolism slows to a crawl when necessary, conserving energy in the same way a candle protects its last ember. Even its muscles are sparse, replaced by light, gelatinous tissue that allows it to survive crushing depths without collapsing under pressure. But how did such a creature evolve? Paleobiologists argue that during periods of oceanic instability, species capable of extreme flexibility, physically and behaviorally, had the greatest survival advantage. While rigid hunters died out, Fluid, elastic predators like the gulper eel adapted. Its expandable maw wasn't just a hunting tool. It was a lifeline, granting it the ability to eat almost anything it encountered. And the world it came from was even harsher than today. Millions of years ago, the deep ocean was a battlefield of shifting temperatures, sinking biomass, and migrating prey. The gulper eel endured all of it by embracing the darkness, becoming one with the unseen world most creatures fear. Despite being elusive, recent deep-sea missions have brought us closer to understanding this mysterious animal. Oceanographers operating autonomous vehicles in the Pacific documented unexpected behaviors, coordinated drifting patterns, sudden bursts of speed, and synchronized illumination of their tail lures. One bold hypothesis proposes that gulper eels may communicate through flashes of bioluminescence, short bursts of coded light too faint for human eyes to detect without sensors. It's speculation, but speculative science often becomes real science when technology finally catches up. Not all mysteries are biological. For centuries, sailors reported seeing living shadows, rising near the surface at night, shapeless masses drifting upward before vanishing again. Some claimed these shadows swallowed seabirds whole. While dramatic exaggeration is likely, experts note that gulper eels occasionally ascend during nocturnal migrations, following prey trails toward warmer waters. Perhaps those ancient stories were not inventions, but misinterpreted glimpses of this creature emerging from the black. For all we've learned, much remains unknown. How does the gulper eel navigate without strong eyesight? Microanalysis of its sensory system suggests heightened, lateral line detection, tiny receptors capable of reading vibrations in the water like a blind person reading braille. Each heartbeat of a nearby fish, each flick of a tail, each shift in pressure becomes a map the eel can see without light dot. And then there's its movement. Watching it swim is like watching ink dissolve in water, smooth, elastic, unhurried. Nothing about it suggests clumsiness or panic. Even its strikes are slow until the final moment, when the jaw expands with terrifying speed. If the giant maw is a net, the body is the silent current carrying that net through the abyss. To understand it better, researchers once attempted to bring a living specimen to the surface. The attempt failed. The eel's delicate, gelatinous tissues, perfect for surviving extreme pressure, collapsed in the lower atmosphere. It dissolved, almost like a ghost returning to shadow. From that moment on, scientists accepted that the gulper eel is not meant for our world. It belongs to the deep alone. And maybe that's why it fascinates us. It's a reminder that Earth still holds secrets, untouched by human hands. As our submarine's lights fade and the cameras settle on the drifting eel, something extraordinary happens. The luminous tail flickers in a slow, rhythmic code. For a heartbeat, the creature hovers still, enormous, otherworldly. Then, with a single undulating motion, it vanishes into darkness as if swallowed by the sea itself. We are left with nothing but the echo of questions. How many more swim in the black? What unseen strategies have they mastered? What else lurks in a world we barely understand? The gulper eel expandable maw predator is not just a relic of evolution. It is a living reminder that life thrives where we least expect it, that survival favors the strange, the elastic, the impossible. And as long as the deep ocean remains uncharted, this creature will continue to glide through its eternal night, a ghost with a glowing tail, waiting for the next unsuspecting flicker of life to wander too close. In the end, perhaps the greatest mystery is not the creature itself, but the vast abyss that shaped it. A world older than history, darker than memory, and deeper than human imagination. A world that reminds us the ocean still keeps its secrets,